On this first day of summer, as we take a live look outside from our Chamber of Commerce iCam there in Fayetteville, you can see the sun shining brightly, not a cloud in the sky. Very hard to find relief unless you can duck under one of those trees for a bit of shade there, Matt.
You know what else you can find relief? We were at the Touch a Truck today, United Way of Fort Smith. I had the Storm Chaser, full blast AC. So a lot of these kiddos were hopping in to try to get the breeze coming out of the vehicle there. But it was a lot of fun. United Way invited us there. It was actually held in Van Buren at the high school. But we were just showing off some of our equipment that we use to try to keep you guys safe when we're trying to track thunderstorms. Today, we didn't have a single cloud out there, so we didn't need the Storm Chaser to be doing any kind of crazy work, but it was a lot of fun. Boy, it was hot though. My goodness, it's been hot. Area wide, south, north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel, anywhere from Lake Fayetteville to Lake Fort Smith. We've been baking. We've got heat advisory still in place until 7 o'clock, so just under 2 more hours left to go of these heat advisories. Essentially get a heat advisory when your heat index goes over 100. That's our criteria here in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We're watching a cold front towards our north and west, but it's just not going to swing through for the next couple of days. In the meantime, it's going to be pulling some moisture just northbound into the plains. In fact, Omaha's a little bit cooler today. In fact, the hogs are going to be enjoying, temperatures instead of being in the 90s, they're in the 80s. We're in the 90s though here at home as high pressure is locked in. However, there's one thing that we're going to have to watch out for. As this cold front slowly gets a little bit closer to Arkansas and Oklahoma, we've got a couple stray storm chances. For example, look in Wichita. They don't really have a lot going on. You got more rain towards the west, but look, every once in a while get maybe a pop-up storm, and we could kind of get those chances the next couple of days as this whole system slowly inches right towards the natural state. So speaking of Omaha, this evening as we take on Auburn, we'll be in the mid-80s here at first pitch just very shortly, but throughout the innings we'll probably stay in the 80s throughout the entire game, 70s until folks are leaving the ballpark there. Let's talk about Futurecast here at home. This evening we're also in those 90s, and we're headed towards those 80s. We'll probably hit the 70s closer to midnight or so. Some of us will have a hard time getting out of the 80s. I mean, look at your temperatures tomorrow morning. We could still have some folks in the mid 70s. It's going to be a warm Wednesday for us. We'll start off mostly sunny, dry for the majority of the day, but later in the afternoon there is a chance for a pop-up shower, and I think the highest chances are north of Highway 412, so mainly Benton County and Carroll County, maybe even around Fayetteville or so. But look at those storms as they fire up more towards the north and west. We're going to try to stay mainly dry here at home, but there could be a brief shower, very brief, kind of like we had the other Saturday, remember that? But they're not going to be nearly as numerous as what we had, this previous weekend. Mid-90s in northwest Arkansas tomorrow, mid-90s in the River Valley. The chance for that pop-up is really towards the middle to late afternoon hours as this heat dome is now moving a little bit closer to us. We've had a lot of heat towards the west, but now it's really building in for us. We've got some of the warmest air now in the country sitting right over Fayetteville and Fort Smith. Our heat index values are likely to be over 100 for the rest of the week. So what happens next? Well, we're just going to get warmer and warmer as a south wind starts to kick in. Today, we didn't have any wind. Almost wish we had a wind because it's just stagnant. Air's not moving very much. We're going to try to reach towards the upper 90s by Saturday, and then a cold front comes in. We may even have some 80s in the forecast. That's a change. In the River Valley, we'll try to hit 100 before we also drop back down to the maybe lower 90s as we come up towards this coming week. But we could try to hit 100 for the first time in Fort Smith. And once again, our average first 100-degree day usually doesn't take place until about July 15th.
What's up with that, by the way?
Wow.
We're just ready to go.
We're
not ready to go.
No, you know what that means?
No, we're not, but the weather is.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
Well, middle of July, it's going to be in the 70s.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Is that, you heard
Mark
it here
your
first,
words,
folks.
right?
You better believe
You heard it
it.
here
If
first.
it's going to be that hot already. It's going to. It's
Hey,
the
if he's
cool
right,
front.
he can join your weather team.
Please do. You look for a job?
By the way, Matt and I will be out at the rodeo of the Ozarks tomorrow.
Yeah.
And as much as I look forward to the rodeo, man,
Better find a fan.
it is going to be
Find
mad
some
shade.
hot
Yeah.
out there.
I'll do one of those Mr. Fans freak. While you're talking, I'll miss
Yes.
you.
There you go.
And when I'm doing the
Okay,
weather, you
good.
miss me.
See what happens with that. Yeah.
It's called teamwork.
Yes.
That's right.
All right.